A 10-year dream may now be a reality. $4 million later, and a local Fort Wayne camp is riding into the future. That's tonight on Nightcast at 11. Well, here's something East Allen County schools might be doing less of in the coming months. Watching grass grow. Tonight on Nightcast, we'll tell you why grass could become a thing of the past for at least some of East Allen County schools' athletics. A galaxy far, far away is now in Fort Wayne. Assuming the Emperor doesn't dispose of me, I'll tell you why at 6.
Two people dead, 2 more on trial, but not for murder.
This all comes from a double shooting that happened in January in Jonesboro in Grant County. News Channel 15's Tony Sandleben joins us with more on what led to the fatal shooting. Tony?
Well, Brett, Tara, good evening. Imagine this. It's late at night. Someone knocks on your door. You go to open the door. You answer it, and you're greeted with gunfire. 3 shots. And the only thing that saves your life is a metal hip replacement. That all happened to 51-year-old Larry Pavey 5 months ago. It's been awesome so far. It's normally a quiet neighborhood here in Jonesboro, Indiana. That changed when 3 17-year-olds decided to rob this house in January.
Yeah, it's been hell. No answers. Don't know why. I lost my father, and they shot me and watched my mom and the rest of the family go through it.
Larry Pavey Sr. heard a knock on the door late one night. He thought someone needed help with a car, so he opened the door. What happened next changed his life forever.
Approximately about 1 o'clock in the morning, they asked for a young lady, and I said, she's not here, this is the Thompson. And before I even got residents out, they started shooting.
Police reports say the teenagers went to the house to rob it, but one of them brought a gun and opened fire into the house.
They hit me 3 times and killed my father.
They may have killed Pavey too if it weren't for his metal hip.
So they said it probably saved my life, not it would have hit my artery.
Pavey's father was not so lucky. 81-year-old Gene Thompson was lying in a hospital bed in the living room. The teenager shot him in the chest. 5 months have passed since that January night. Pavey is now back to work, but is now nervous to even open the front door.
But they took my world from me. They took my father, my inspiration, and not only me and my father, they put everybody through so much.
Now, no one is facing charges in the murder of Pavey's father. That's because a month after that shooting, that 17-year-old shooter shot and killed his 13-year-old girlfriend, then committed suicide. Pavey has one request for parents everywhere: make sure your kids know right from wrong. Live in the newsroom, Tony Sandleben, News Channel 15.
Good evening. Healing our community with hope. That was the goal tonight of a drug overdose awareness event at Lutheran Park. I'm Dirk Crowley.
And I'm Tara Brantley. Thanks for joining us. News Channel 15's Tony Sandleben joins us live downtown with the details about this event. Tony, how's the city getting involved?
Well, Tara, the city's getting involved by actually lighting the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Bridge on Clinton Street. I'm actually going to get out of the way here and try to zoom in a little bit to try to show you a little bit more of what the purple lighting looks like. It was lit up for International Overdose Awareness Day, and the Lutheran CEO told me that today's event was all about possibly getting a hug, crying, but ultimately it was about healing through hope.
Even though this day is to remember our loved ones, it's also so people can have hope.
It was a bit of a party at Lutheran Park.
It gives me a warm feeling. You know, it's bittersweet because we're all here to remember loved ones, but that's what this is about. We need to share about them. We need to talk. They need to know they're not alone.
It was International Overdose Awareness Day, which saw live music, stories of addiction and mental disease, and a chance to keep memories of those who passed away from an overdose alive. It was put on by the Lutheran Foundation.
Really, the Lutheran Foundation wants to reduce stigma, and we want people to talk about the importance of mental health from here on up.
It was all a little more personal for some than others.
I lost my daughter. It'll be almost 2 years in October. In 2016, I lost her to an overdose.
The overall goal of the awareness event came down to some simple concepts.
My hope is that we do things in the community, like more resources, more treatment, so maybe someday, you know, the numbers will be less and we won't have to remember so many because we're saving lives. And that to me is the most important thing, saving lives.
And there were some support and recovery groups at this event today as well. And if you or a loved one are looking for help to recover from an addiction, there is a link to our website where you can find more information on how to find the help you might need. That's at WANE.com. Live at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Bridge, Tony Sandleben, News Channel 15.
Tony, thank you for that live report.
$15 minimum wage initially would probably affect me negatively, as we're a new business. We're only in our second year. However, obviously, you know, we understand that the cost of living increases, things increase in general, so we would have to help support that.
John Ambrioli owns First and Wilkerson Designs. He says Congress possibly passing a law that would put minimum wage at $15 an hour nationwide would be a good thing in the long run. But it wouldn't come without its challenges.
We'd have to gain more business, get more business from the area. You know, and a lot of companies, I could see them having to increase the cost of their product. I mean, obviously they kind of go hand in hand, right?
Across the street is Caliente. Its manager, Meredith Moon, sees the increase in minimum wage from two perspectives.
As a person, I'm all about it. I think, honestly, I'm in favor of a universal living wage. It's difficult, though, being a small family business.
Moon says running a restaurant is already expensive, so it would take time to get things into working order to pay everyone $15 an hour.
On their application, they put that they wanted to be paid $15. I'm like, okay, cool. Don't we all? But, you know, here, let's start at 11 or whatever for your training. And then at the end of your first month, we'll jump to 12. At the end of your second month, and kind of gradually stair step there.
For Ambrioli, running a successful business comes down to one thing.
You know, my viewpoint has always been if you take care of your employees, they're going to take care of your business.
Again, Tony Sandleben filed that report earlier tonight. U.S. Congressman Jim Banks tweeted on this topic, tweeted disapproval of the bill, saying the wages, families, and livelihoods of American workers should not be sacrificed upon the altar of socialist ideology. Should the bill become law, it would gradually increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025.
A Whitley County Sheriff's deputy was out of his car deploying stop sticks. The suspect swerved to avoid them and hit the deputy's vehicle, causing it to burst into flames. The deputy survived, but his canine partner did not. The scene today, somber, as the canine was saluted by all officers on the scene as her body was pulled from the wreckage.
It's a very important part of the police family is what that dog does for us. It's a protector, and we've lost one of our own today.
Indiana State Police Lieutenant Corey Kohler says a canine dying in the line of duty is just as difficult to bear as if a human officer were to die. If things had been placed just a bit differently, police on the scene of this fiery crash could have been mourning the loss of two of their comrades.
The deputy avoided injury from the car by just split seconds. We're very fortunate not to have two deputies killed here today.
The crash happened in Whitley County near Larwill at the intersection of US 30 and 450 West. The deputy may be okay physically, but emotionally, Lieutenant Kohler says he will need support.
Just as you would imagine, he's very shooken up to see that happen, and he'd be just like the rest of us. You know, he just lost a partner today, and that's going to hurt him for quite some time. And we're all going to support him as much as we can.
In a Facebook post, the mayor of Columbia City says, quote, "I'm deeply saddened to hear of the passing of beloved canine Cass. From a newly minted Columbia City Police Department officer to her work at the Whitley County Sheriff's Department, Canine Cass served the people of Whitley County and her handler with excitement, nobility, and honor." He went on to say, quote, "Personally, I will always remember Canine Cass as a goofy dog who had a strong persuasion towards Cheetos." Both suspects are now in custody, which has Lieutenant Kohler wanting to send a message to the public.
And anytime somebody has something wrong, feel free to call the police. We're going to respond to it, but we need the public's help to apprehend folks like this.